Come on in, come on in, come on in, come on in, come on in. Let's talk about it. Happy Sunday, excuse me, to everybody. Happy Victory Sunday to everybody. How's everybody doing? Listen, this is another day, and another day that we live, live physically, and then another day that we live with another W. This is Victory Sunday. I kind of want to talk about a couple of things, and you guys see the title here, and I'll wait for a couple of people to come in. But look, is USC for real moving forward, or it's just one game? Is this just a Rutgers thing? We'll talk about that. I'm gonna put this link in the chat, but you guys come on in. We'll talk about this. What's up, my man? How you doing, man? Good to see you, my man. Marshall, how you doing? How's everything going? Daniel, how you doing? I'm gonna greet some people. We'll talk about this. I want to know, is USC for real, or is this a one-time deal? I understand it is Rutgers, and we'll see. What's up, family? How you doing, man? Big Brian, I know you're gonna tap in, man. I'm gonna put this link in here in a minute. Tap in if you can. BJ, B Jones, what's up with it? No, you did. No, you did. Hey, let me tell you something, bro. I know about that. That dude. Hey, I saw that clip. I know exactly what you're talking about. Hey, Fido. Hey, man, I can't believe you did that. Keith, what's the word? What's the word, Big Keith? Fido, let's go. So look, man, I'm gonna put this link in the chat, but I had an opportunity to kind of reflect and just kind of a little opening statement, if you will. And am I somewhat concerned? I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna let you guys come on in. You guys can talk about it. Offensively, I think USC executed very well. Listen, I was tired. I was lost in the sauce doing my instant analysis. I couldn't even think straight. Hey, what's up, family? I couldn't even think straight, but now I had an opportunity to kind of reflect, look at the game, analyze a couple of things, and I'll say this. I'm happy about the young guys stepping up. And this link is in the chat. I'm very happy about the young guys stepping up. Cam Fountain, Sam Green, all of these guys were stepping up big time on the defensive side. However, and I'm happy about some of the guys in the secondary, Zion Branch and these other guys. However, looking back, I saw some, I'm not sure what was going on with the cushion in between these receivers and the cornerbacks. That, to me, that's somewhat of a concern. I think they can adjust that. It was just too many open spaces to where these guys are able to make throws. And I don't know. I think moving forward, if we're going to play some ball, and I'm going to get into this first one, if we're going to play some serious ball, I think we really got to tighten that part up a little bit. Now, if our offense can continue to do the things that they've done this past weekend, I think we're going to be okay moving forward. But this is the title of the story. I'm going to take this first call. Can USC go undefeated from here? Trojan dominance, or is it just a dream? You guys see it right there. The link is in the chat. It looks like that for those who want to tap in. Brian, what's up, my brother?
What's going on, Jay? How you doing?
Man, talk to me, man. What's your feeling about overall? What's your thoughts? I mean, whatever thoughts you had on your mind, but then what you think.
Can you hear me okay?
Okay, it's kind of somewhat of an echo.
Hold on, let me move. What about now? Is that better?
Yeah, that's better.
All right. It was a pretty good game plan from an offensive perspective. We did a lot of things. We played a lot of different personnel. Riley did make some changes. Only wish that he had made those changes sooner on the offensive side. And I know you and I chopped it up on Instagram about how effective Kyle Lemon was. And I went back. I gave some second thought to it. He is one of the top receivers. I still got Jacoby Lane as number one. I don't know, Jay, how the rest of the season is going to play out. We got some tough games coming up. We got Washington coming up.
Hold tight real quick, because because that's kind of a twofold question right there. Mm-hmm. I want to talk about your second part that you're about to get ready to bring up. But real quick, I want to talk about what you were saying first, Makai Lemon. And
yeah, Makai Lemon. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah,
He Makai Lemon, he was just a change of pace. For some reason,
he's
I don't know
different,
whether or
man.
not. Yeah, he's different. I don't know whether or not they told Zach to stop running the ball back on kickoff. I don't know whether or not it was just too much on his plate with him
Yeah,
being a punt returner, kickoff, and playing on offense. Maybe it was just he just needed to take some of the responsibilities from him so he could play a lot freer. But you're right, but Kyle Lemon, he's a different type of kid, man.
he's different, man. He's different. Hey, that's why I wanted to get you hold tight for a minute because you're making a great point. I actually did a video about him today after going back and looking at the highlights. And the thing that really crossed my mind is why wasn't Makai Lemon in all year long like this? Like he should have never been on. He should have never been on punt, kickoff, or whatever that was he was on where he got injured. And it to me that really. I'm not gonna say that to me that was more disturbing, but it was just like why? Because that guy is so explosive in every aspect of his game. Kick return.
Well, to be fair, Jay, before we saw the decline in Zach, and I still think it's because he put on too much weight, from last season or too much muscle. You could understandably justify, having Makai as the backup behind Zach.
Well,
we never saw. Go ahead.
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I don't know if you remember after the Louisville game, and you can stay on for the, if you can, with the call that comes on. But if you remember during the Louisville game, I remember he only got the ball, I think maybe once or twice, but it was the way he bounced and stepped and how quick it was when he got the ball.
Got it twice. He got it twice.
Yeah, but it might have been like a 5-yard run, but it was the way he did it. I saw it then. And I remember thinking to myself, why isn't Makai Lemon getting more run here? I don't understand
it. Yeah, you could say that, but then you got to look at who was in front of him, though, Jay. We got Jacoby that was in front of him making heck of a catches. Kyron Hudson was in front of him making heck of a catches. We just real deep at the receiver spot now. Hindsight is always 20/20, but with the emergence of Kyle Ford, we could say the same thing about Kyle Ford. We don't know why he wasn't on the field. But
man, I was gonna bring that next point up. Well, I mentioned it today in the video. Absolutely.
Yeah, so when you're that deep and those kids are that young, it's kind of hard to keep everybody happy, everybody eating. And then so you got our quarterback number 7. He pretty much zeroing in on 2 players, and that was Zach, trying to get Zach the ball, and I think Kyron Hudson, always going back to that LSU game. Kyron Hudson was kind of like the safety blanket, especially after the tight end went down.
Yeah.
So we'll see that, now teams are going to have to game plan for Makai Lemon. I think we just had too many weapons to have 4 losses right now, man, on offense, to be honest. We got too many weapons to have 4 losses right now.
I'm going to be honest, Brian, man, like every time I think about it, it makes me sick. Like I don't even – sometimes I felt like watching college football yesterday, and then other times I didn't, because I know for a fact that this was, I'm not going to say it's a waste, but it just makes me sick to be these guys to be this good and to not have put everything together. Like I told everybody else, I put different stuff up on my Twitter, and I tell everybody, like, these guys are really good. But, when I walk back and forth with people, you can't really justify it because the record reflects what they supposed to be. But I know that they're not this record.
Here's the thing, and number 7, he has made some great throws at times, but his throws sometimes can be costly. It just so happened that his interception come at a costly time for us. You understand what I'm saying? I really believe that if we had number 14 starting at quarterback, we probably only had 1 loss. I truly believe that, Jay.
You might to open it back up.
You don't have to say it, Jay. I'll say it. We will only have 1 loss, Jay. To be honest, man, we shouldn't have this many losses with the amount of talent that we got. Talent that that was kind of sneaky, and it's not kind of like a hidden talent that we have. But because I think that. Well, there's other motives. I really think that Raleigh is trying to get Moss drafted, is what it is. I don't think that Moss is coming back next year, whether it be through the transfer or whether it be through the draft. But I really think that he's trying to sneak Moss into at least the 2nd or the 3rd round. That's why he's so adamant about sticking with him. I think that's the reason why he's sticking with Moss. Other than that, man, we would if he had started 14, if the competition was as close as he said it was coming out of spring camp or fall camp, again, we will probably have at the most one loss right now with number 14 in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy, man. And you know, I don't know if you saw that run. I'm gonna take this call real quick. I don't know if you saw that run, man, that he had. It looked incredible. He just had a little nice run. I mean, I'm like, wow.
Yeah, you talking about when he pulled it out there, when he got the opportunity to pull it out there. And that's what we need to keep those defensive ends from crashing down. That's how you open up lanes, passing lanes, and running lanes when that defensive end can't crash down on you like that. So if he does crash down, that's another 12, 15 years. Imagine having him in that Minnesota game, in that Penn State game. Imagine having him in those games, man.
That's what's so mind-boggling. You can't tell me a guy that can run like that quick, man. I don't, and just be able to shoot up the middle like that. And then he made a guy juke. He did it with a quickness. Like, are you telling me that he can't play? I don't know. Let me take.
He looked like a young Sam Darnold out there, man. He really did. Yeah.
For real.
Yeah, go ahead, J man. Go ahead.
KW, what's up, my brother?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Talk to me.
I'm not as stressed as everybody else is because I understand how this process works, but it's just it's interesting how fans react to certain things, but it's frustrating, but you know, it depends on what your expectation of the team was going into the season. That's my thing.
Well, can you break that down for me? When you say different fans, different perspective and how they react, what do you mean by that?
Well, a lot of times when you have a certain expectation, and say, for instance, you're off the high of beating LSU, you know what I mean, in the way that they did, where they kind of executed at the end and all that stuff. So your expectations start to go up more and more. So then you can kind of revert back to the, oh, we going all the way. You know what I mean? We taking this all the way. And that's the mentality you should have. But if you look at the team has things that you say to yourself, those are growth things. And I'm including the coach. So I'm saying Lincoln Riley has to learn to evolve, to learn how to close games. The defense is young, but they have to learn how to close games. The offense has to learn to close games. And those things are things that you have to kind of get in the fire to learn. So, you know, it's kind of important to know that when you're doing, you know, when you're trying to get a team together. So I don't look at it the same way. I look at it like it's frustrating. I'm frustrated too, but I'm not losing my mind over it like that, because I think it's one of those things that it's a process. That's all it is. It's a process. And I think the expectations of our former coaches can put you in that mindset, but that's a learned ability. You have to learn how to close games out. And USC this year cannot close games.
Hey, can I say something? Can I disagree with that real quick?
Yeah, you
can. I respond? All right. I think that if we had the right personnel in there, like Jay was saying,
yes, I was just about to go there.
Those games that we had possible closings that were all within 7 points. Those games wouldn't even been that close.
Well, I think it's 4 games actually we won. We lost by like 14, a total of 14 points.
I think we lost to Minnesota by 6 or 7 points, right?
Something like that.
Yeah, we lost. Yeah.
So with the right personnel in there, what we're saying is those games probably wouldn't have even been that close. I know the Penn State game wouldn't have been that close, and I know go ahead.
But that's still the coach. You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. Like what you're saying is personnel is great, but if the coach is still doing certain things, those are learned ability. If you look at his career, when is he actually closed? See, that's my point.
He was closing at Oklahoma, though. He was closing at Oklahoma. He made the playoffs.
You're saying he closed. Did they win a championship?
They didn't win a championship, but his record was better than ours.
Wait. Okay, but look, let me ask you a question then. Well, first thing, if you make it to a playoff game, because I specifically remember when Lincoln Riley came over, and I'm not going to say I was just happy, and I got to take this other call too. I'm not going to say I was just happy about just having him just to make it to the playoffs, because I did say that to myself. I was like, shoot, man, if we could just at least get to the playoffs. But he hasn't even. It's not even close to where he was. I mean, at least when at Oklahoma, going to the playoffs, he established himself. That's number one. Number two, the question I have for you, and Kashim, I see you. I'm about to get to you in just a second. The question I have for you: what were your realistic expectations when you're talking about after the LSU game? Because it's hard for me to believe. Are you a USC fan? Is that number one? Are you a USC fan?
I'm a USC fan. I grew up down the street from USC.
Okay.
So you can't. Yeah, I'm
okay. So as a USC fan, yeah, I grew up not far, 4 miles, Crenshaw District. So
yep, I grew up in Inglewood.
Yeah, so same thing. Me and you, the same thing. So So basically, what were your realistic? Are you telling me that you weren't excited after that LSU game? You didn't see, you foresaw the flaws already ahead. You weren't excited like everybody else.
I was excited they won the game, but I thought it was a step.
You see what I mean? No, but what I'm asking,
my expectation wasn't we're going to. I didn't think like we're going to the chip. I didn't think it like that. I thought it's a step.
I didn't think the chip, but what I'm saying when I saw him beat LSU, I felt confident about the season. I didn't necessarily think it was going to be a season like this. Did you tell me? You think it would have been like this?
Well, no. I mean, I think when you got to, I think when we played, I think the Michigan game was a game I would agree that's very frustrating because we should have won the game, and it really just came down to like one play or two plays. I think the Minnesota game was disheartening. I think that, you know what I mean? I think the Wisconsin start bothered me, but I guess I looked at it like, as long as Lincoln Riley has been here, in the year previous when they didn't have a great defense, when we had Grinch and we would just give up points, and now that he has a defense, I never really had the sense of he's grown to the point of where he has the ability to really dominate teams and finish games in the first half. I mean, the constant thing I always remember is we got to try to get these young guys in the game. Remember when Caleb was here, he was like, let's blow somebody out, get these young guys in the game. And it never really worked out that way. You know what I mean? So like in my mind, I was like, maybe it's the players. And then I thought about it, maybe it's the coach. But then I look at it and I say, yeah, that's like a coaching thing, because Lincoln has never really put his foot on anybody like that and done it consistently. And to me, that's a big thing, because that's when you know the team is really taking care of business, and that's all that really matters in this equation.
That's a great point. And until it happens, the jury is gonna still be out.
Yep.
That's kind of where we are. So I appreciate you tapping in, family. I got to take this other call. Hey, fight on, big dog.
Fight on.
Kashim, it's about time, man.
Big J, how you doing?
It's about time, man. What's up with you?
You already know, man. It's important if I come online.
Hey, shout out to my man Kashim, man. Hey, welcome, man. Welcome, my brother. Welcome, man. Talk to me, man. What's your thoughts now? Everybody buckle your seatbelts for this guy right here, man.
Man, my thoughts is, Lincoln Riley, it starts at the top. Lincoln Riley, he's not the man to lead USC, man. He can't motivate the players. He hasn't taken hold of the recruiting in Southern California. Like he's recruiting the Georgia players. I understand we got to recruit nationally. We get that, but you have to put a fence around Southern Cal. That's he's not doing that. And then also, how's he sticking with Miller Moss? Like it's unreal how he's sticking with Miller Moss. Unbelievable. It's the same thing that he did with Grinch. He's loyal to something that he believes in. He's a stubborn dude, man, and that's why the media and the fan base here in LA done turned on him.
It's a lot of, and for those who haven't been watching in the media, a lot of people, I guess you can just kind of look at the game on Friday. Look how many people was there. They said 64,000, but it didn't look like 60. Yeah, it didn't look like 64,000. It looked like about 16,000. But one thing about it, and you know as well as I know, if you in the LA area, man, they're not gonna go for the foolishness for a long time. Now, Now, Kashim, his thoughts about Lincoln Riley a little bit. I'm willing to give him some grace and give him, and I respect his thoughts. There's a lot of people share what Kashim feels right now, and I could just honestly say, and rightfully so. Me, I see it a little bit different. I kind of tend to agree with the guy that came on, growing pains. But at the end of the day, how long do you allow the growing pains to go? Now, there's some personnel issues that I absolutely, like Kashim was saying. You guys know I did a video today about Mekhi Lemon. I just don't understand. You see a guy blowing up like that, exploding all over the field. You wonder why he wasn't in the game thus far, more than what he is. You wonder why Kyle Ford hadn't been in there. Look, I understand about a lot of names and big time names, but the proof is in the pudding. If you out there doing it, you make it happen, man. So Brian, you got anything you want to say on that?
Yeah.
I got one more point I want to make.
Go ahead, Christian. Go ahead, Christian.
Now, USC is a different animal, man. LA is a different animal, man. It takes a special type of coach to coach at USC, to be the coach of the Lakers, the skipper of the Dodgers. Lincoln Riley, he don't have that makeup. Let's look at Colorado. Colorado had the worst talent in all of college football. They had players that wasn't even D1 players before Deion came there. He came there once. He got them the 4 wins, and look where they at right now. USC, with the talent that we have, with recruiting, with transfer portal, it should, if you can't come in there and flip it, if you can't come up in there and flip it your first and second season, you're not the man for USC. Look at Indiana. Look at Indiana Hoosiers football. They're undefeated. They went in there and flipped that. We talking about the Indiana Hoosiers, not the basketball, but the football team. Now,
hey, Brian,
USC. How long has it? Go ahead.
Let's compare USC talent-wise, recruiting-wise, NL-wise, everything with Colorado and Indiana, and look at the transformations in the last 2 seasons of those 2 schools and USC. Tell me why it's not happening.
Well, let me ask you a question.
I'm gonna listen to you.
Let me ask you a question. If it wasn't Riley, who would you get to be the coach? Who would you suggest?
To me, and I know he ain't gonna never coach again, but this is my honest opinion. I believe if it was my choice, if they came to me and said, Kashim, we want you to pick the next coach for USC, and the guy I picked said he'll do it, I put Nick Saban up in there. That's the only person that can fix USC. That's the type of coach you need. You need a Nick Saban, a game changer, a leader of men that will inspire everybody.
Well, we had somebody
inspire. You can tell he don't inspire.
We had somebody similar to that, but you have to look at the makeup of the time too. We had somebody similar to Saban. His name was Ogeron, and they didn't keep him. Well,
got fired.
And I agree with you, fam. But they didn't.
He coached USC. He coached USC to a good record. We were some bums. He came in and took over, was great, and didn't bring that man back because they didn't like the way he spoke. Because
that's what I'm saying.
He had the accent. They let that man go. This is how crazy the people that was running USC. Do you know they didn't bring Edge Orgeron back because the way he sounded?
Right, because he's from Louisiana and it was an accent. But you got to look at the.
That's ridiculous, man.
You got to look at the administration that was making the decision at the top. You got to look at the boosters. Like you said, you out there in LA, so you got USC compete. But when we go back to the attendance, you got them competing against the Dodgers, who's in the World Series. You got them competing against the Lakers. So I can understand why the seats were the stadium was looking as empty as it did last night. That's to be fair. That's a fair assessment, right?
Not good.
Yeah. That's true.
Because
that's true.
But USC would have been 7 or 8-0 against going into Rutgers. The Coliseum would have been sold out with the World Series and the Lakers.
I don't think so, fam.
All right.
Not on Friday night. I don't think so. Not on Friday night.
If they was undefeated, it probably would have been full. It would have been full.
Jay.
Yeah, it would have been full.
I'm
but
born and raised in Los Angeles. I know they would have.
Our fans
been there.
our fans, you know, one thing about it, and I'm gonna respond to Kashim real quick. One thing about it, our fans will not come to the game if they suspect any losing, if they feel like things is not right. They feel like there's other things to do, and there is a lot of stuff to do. But with that being said, my direct response to you, Kashim, and I think I told you this before, when you're talking about, first of all, I'll tell you, my number one point is if Colorado had our schedule, they would not be, the record wouldn't even be close to what it is right now. If they play LSU, if they play Wisconsin, if they played Penn State, they wouldn't even be close. That's my number one point. Number two is you already know, and I think I told you this. We went from the Boulevard, we went from State Out, we went from Conquest and House of Victory, all these different, you know, we had some issues with the NIL, you know, and hopefully everything is tied up. And I heard that everything is tied up right now. So, you know, we brought multiple guys in, you know, when you the transfer portal, but it costs, like that guy, Derek Harmon, that's at Oregon right now. Look, dude was asking for a meal ticket, and maybe they wasn't willing to cough that up like that. The other guys as well. I think Cardwell, I think they brought him in, guy from Houston, offensive lineman or whatever. But, you know, they brought multiple guys in to come in with the transfer portal. But whether they give them or not, now, I guess the other question is how important, and I don't know if that's a Lincoln Riley decision. I can't say that's his decision or if that's administration, the higher ups towards the AD or whoever handles that. So all I know is, though, for sure, that we did bring some of those guys in, and, you know, as well as the recruiting. We brought Peyton Woodyard in from St. John Bosco. We brought Kingston in from St. John Bosco. Remember, they had Troy Polamalu. They went and got and brought him up to the campus just to really take them around and really show them the love. We got some other guys from Modern Day that they brought in, Xavier Brown, other guys, but for whatever reason, it wasn't sticking. And so, yeah, I mean, we lost out in that aspect, in that area. So I guess the question is now, look, a lot of us last year, everybody was upset that Alex Grinch, you know, he wouldn't follow Alex Grinch, but they did it. Now got the best available coaching staff. I don't think any of us could argue that he did what he had to do as far as hiring Deanton Lynn, as far as hiring Eric Henderson, as far as hiring Matt Lynch, the best possible staff. Now, is he perfect? No, absolutely not. Does he have some things he need to work on? Coach Riley? Absolutely. But I think it's more to work with opposed to what we did have initially when he first came in with Alex Grinch. Do you at least agree with that?
I agree with that, but there's one thing that I disagree with you when you talk about the schedules between Colorado and USC. Colorado would have beat Minnesota and Maryland, and they would have beat Michigan with a
no. They wouldn't. I don't think they would have beat Michigan. But I will say that I don't think
they would have beat Michigan. They would have beat Michigan with a quarterback that only throw for 90, 60, 70 yards. He wouldn't have beat no Colorado. He wouldn't have beat no Colorado. They definitely would have beat Minnesota, and they definitely would have beat Maryland.
They would have beat Maryland and
Minnesota.
I'm not sure about Minnesota. I mean,
I say Maryland. I say they would have beat Maryland.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest.
This season.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Look at Colorado's schedule. Anybody that got their phone on,
I'm not. USC played the tougher schedule. You're correct in that.
I'm talking about Minnesota. I'm saying Minnesota is probably better than most of those teams on Colorado's schedule. Name one team right now that Colorado's played that is better than Minnesota.
None.
I'm telling you. Now I'm telling you. Yeah, Colorado State, who they opened up with, they not even. I mean, really. Who else did they play? I'm trying to remember who else.
Let me see.
Hey, did you see what happened when they played? Who was that? You see what they did? Nebraska did to them this year.
Nebraska beat the brakes off of them.
Nebraska beat the brakes off. Do you know? You do know Nebraska's in the Big Ten, right? We play them next. Yeah. So my thing is, they won't go through our schedule and have nothing shaking like that. I can promise you that. Just based on Nebraska, Nebraska had a true freshman quarterback that never played, and he went on there and threw all over Colorado. I'm telling you right now, Colorado will be lost in the sauce in the Big Ten. Straight up.
I don't think so.
But I respect your opinion. Yeah, I definitely respect your opinion. And you my guy.
I mean, what's Colorado record right now?
I think he's 6-2.
Are they ranked?
Yeah, they got ranked this week. This week right
You got
here.
to give them their props.
I'll give them their props. Hey,
USC is 4-4, man. We might win 6 games. We might win 6 games.
Hey, look. I salute Colorado. I like Coach Prime. I'm a Coach Prime guy, and I respect what they're doing. And but I'm just saying from a specific standpoint, Colorado will not have the same record if they had the schedule we have right now. That's a fact.
I put it to you like this, Jay. If we switch our records, if you gave us Colorado record and gave Colorado our record, it would be a totally different story. More than likely, we would be undefeated in the Big 12, and it would probably be middle of the road in the Big 10.
Okay.
The Big 10 is a physical competition.
Let me ask you this: do you think with the team that we have right now and Miller Moss the quarterback, they would be undefeated in the Big 12?
With Miller Moss at quarterback?
Yeah.
Now
that's a whole nother question, but maybe
man, I would say this, Kashim, maybe one loss. Maybe.
I don't know.
If I'm looking at who all has Colorado played this year outside of Cincinnati?
I don't have my phone right now, but they play. I know they played Nebraska. They played Cincinnati. They played.
They
Colorado
beat somebody
State.
Good too, man. I forget who it was.
They beat Central Florida, but Central Florida not all that.
I would say that the only toss up I would probably say would be Nebraska on the road. I just don't trust Miller Moss on the road like that.
Anything I'm gonna tell you this with the issue with me and this is why I say bring in packages. I just think whenever pressure is applied, I just see Miller does something different. He responds different. Like we saw him yesterday, Saturday or Friday, and he was just. I mean, he pretty much. And the game plan was different as well. I saw Deuce back there blocking, and they had 2 tight ends, receiver and a tight end back there on both sides, and Lincoln Riley pretty much kept everything in front of him. Little slants, nothing really over. I don't think he threw a pass over 20 or 30 yards. Did you guys see that? Yeah. And so if you guys remember how Bo Nix did it, how the coach kept everything in front of him, that's kind of how they did it. And that way his accuracy wouldn't have been affected. His decision making really wasn't affected. All you were doing was really like backyard pitch and catch type stuff. So I think the game plan was simple. But the question is, how long can it be like that? You know, like we get ready. I just bought my plane ticket too today for Washington game Saturday. And long as nothing comes up, I'm catching that plane, Lord willing. But hey, I've been to Washington Stadium before. It gets loud, and I'm gonna tell you this right now. That's why I want to talk about this in this show. USC undefeated from here. Trojan dominance, or is it just a dream? Because my thing is that like it's gonna be hostile. Like what we saw Saturday or Friday, it's not gonna be the same type of situation. And that coach from Arizona, that dude knows. Jed Fish knows how to coach. And so I'm hoping, I pray that we do something, because I know I just see when Miller Moss gets under pressure, he's just somewhat different. Any quarterback, but you got to know how to improvise. You got to know how to move and groove. And I just feel like packages with Jaden Maiava. This is why I've been advocating it all year long.
I got us beating UCLA. That's it.
Yeah, I would say I'll say this: Washington gonna be hard on the road. We can get Nebraska at home. That's why I say anything at home. I'll give Miller Moss the nod. But
did you see Nebraska play at Ohio State?
Yeah. Let's go.
Yeah, I saw him play. I saw him play. Look, I'm not getting them twisted. I'm just saying that if we put the right QB in there to start the game, number 14, and we lean on Woody Marks, which we probably should have been leaning on that kid all season long. I said it before. I said the 2 most important pickups for us in the offseason were Deontay Lynn and Woody Marks. I've been saying that for the longest.
Yes.
Lean on that kid, Woody Marks, man. Let him run that ball. Give it to him 25, 30 times a game if you have to. He is a special kid, whether it be on the screenplays, out of the backfield, whether it be on a counter play. You saw what he did on that last counter play, man, where we were like 25 yards out. He got wheels on him. I said that he's better than Marshawn Lloyd, and he is. that we had last
He
season.
is better than
That
Marshawn.
kid is a special kid, and if we had been leaning on that kid more so, I understand, Riley want to get Miller Moss, into sneak him into maybe the second round or something like that, and he's known to be the quarterback guru. But like Jay was pointing out, when he was at Oklahoma, man, he ran the ball 50%, 51% of the time. But for some reason, he won't run it over here like that.
Well, to your point, some of that was the quarterback running. Baker Mayfield ran a little bit. Kyler Murray ran a little bit. Jalen Hurts ran a little bit. Caleb Williams ran a little bit. All these guys ran, and so.
But we got a quarterback like that though, Jay. We got one like that,
and that's the
and
problem.
number 14.
Yeah, that's the problem. That's what we. Man, I'm telling you, that's what's so frustrated about it right now because we all saw that little one play. We saw a spark when he did against Utah State. And it was, to me, the one we saw Friday was even more so explosive because this guy looked like he showed some cut ability. And, man, he was out. And I just can't imagine what that'll do. And this guy right here, John Guzman, he makes a great point talking about the LSU Texas A&M game. He said they started torching LSU after that QB change. Marshawn Reed's mobility was key. Yeah, he's absolutely right. When they brought the quarterback in, everything else changed for Texas A&M. LSU was putting it on him.
It sure did. I watched that game, and that guy who made the comment is correct. Everything changed again. Moss does not fit Riley's MO. This is not Riley's MO. This pocket passing thing, he holding the ball too long on his 7-step drops. He's not climbing the pocket, man. He did some, I think we having to bring in, an extra tight end to block because our offensive line was getting beat earlier in the season. But the last 3 weeks, he's been having a clean pocket, Jay. He's been having a clean pocket. And
this was the first game. This was the first game that we seen him. I would say since LSU, Michigan, Utah State, somewhat of Michigan until the pick was thrown. Hey, Coach Cali Sports Talk. I'm putting a link in the chat. I want you. I don't just want the comment. I want you to make your claim as to why you say the backup is not that good. I'm putting a link right here. If you can see it, tap in. Here it is. Let's see if I can get it.
Yeah,
tap
I want to hear this.
I want to hear. I want to hear your points. I can't let you get away with that without just a comment. If it dang, this thing tripping. Oh, there we go. So, hey, the link is in the chat. I want to hear your point as to why you think he's not the guy. All right, man. So, man, Kashin, anything else, my brother?
Nah, I'm gonna listen to you guys.
Christian, what's up, man? Fight on. Okay, hey, Kashin, much respect to you. Let me answer this one. Hey, Ray, what's up, bro?
How
you doing?
I'm doing good. Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, good, man. I think that from old dude's comment who just put that, what's the name, Cali something. Honestly, kind of think he a little right though, man.
Talk to me.
I watched Jada Mayalva play and everything. We all know he got the physical tools, but he got the IQ to really run the offense. We know he can.
Well, that's the only thing. Yep.
And that's what's really questionable because even when I went to the spring game, he was selling some of them balls. Some of them wasn't on the money. He made bad decisions. So I think a whole year underneath the system, he'll be ready. But, moving forward, do I think this team is going to really close out? Honestly, Washington going to be tough. They always play us tough, man. That atmosphere, like you, I've been to that out there in Washington.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
That crowd is crazy.
It's crazy.
They got the worst crowd, man.
Between them, Oregon, I think they may be louder than Oregon, though, man. It gets. I had a lot of my partners played there, man, especially in the early '90s. You remember when a lot of Cali dudes was going to Washington? You remember that back in the day, man? And so, matter of fact, I'm gonna see a lot of those guys on Friday when I get there. But and to me, that's what worries me, though, man, because just like Michigan, it just seems like he's a different quarterback under those circumstances. Would you agree?
That is true. I agree 100%.
Okay.
I would say when we are on the road, we play only one half of great football, and then we come back, we take the lead, or we got the lead throughout the most of the game. We beat ourselves the entire season. Everybody has said. I remember hearing before this season started from you and as well as a lot of other people. Yo, man, like, dang, hey, we can really go 11-1 or we can go 12-0. And every game we have been in, but we constantly beat ourselves. And then I realized, like, I forgot that this is a young team. We got so many players who didn't play last year that's playing on the offensive side, and they making like poor mistakes right there. Especially we've all seen Miller throw costly interceptions when it was critical. It was critical. So
Yeah.
I think this season is the learning curve for this first season in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
It sucks, but in every game we've actually been good. Every game that we've lost, we've been the better team. And there's been things we need to clean up. We do need a mobile quarterback
Yeah.
to really run. That's what Juju and Ryder Lines is going to be what we need. I'm hoping Mayava can, but I just don't see that the IQ aspect for
Well,
him.
here's and to your point, I've always said that, and you guys probably could verify this. I said bring Miles in for packages. You can
I
still
rock with
leave,
that.
you can still leave Miller in, but because like I said, it's gonna get hostile. Now we did see Miller run. Now you guys satisfied with the way he ran the other day? You can tell
Yeah,
me
yeah, I'm good. I'm good with that, but he needs to take that
he need to
when
take
when he's getting pressure off them edges. Like, yo,
right.
man, and you got a wide open lane, man. Don't sit there and just try to throw the ball. Like, man, just take off. You got good enough speed to where some of these linemen can't catch you, man. So, like, yo, man, take it and run. But he just wants to sit in the pocket all the time. He let that pressure like hit him. He get rattled a little bit. I
Yeah, I
only
think
think, and I think we gave Lincoln don't want to like just do a full quarterback swap, is because like everybody was saying like the story of Miller. He deserves it. He's been loyal. Loyalty don't mean nothing when we out here. We about winning titles out here with USC. If you a Dodger fan, you about winning titles. You a Laker, you about winning titles. All that loyalty go out the window if you ain't really performing that well and everything. He's been good, but he ain't been great. He's been
and
good. He just ain't been great.
I think it's just more so of the timing of the turnovers that with him. It
Yeah,
just came at the worst possible times. But to Miller's credit, I saw him. He balled out Friday. If he plays like that, man,
yeah,
he needs to be in the game. He needs to be there for the rest of the year.
that's
No,
true.
the
I
question
agree with
is,
that.
will it stay like that? That's the question. Will he stay like that? Because he didn't overthrow anybody. He didn't throw anything in back of anybody. And like
Yeah,
we said, he took that run, and he took that option, and that's the way this offense needs to function.
yeah, 100%. And I love that Makai has been he been doing this thing like was the past 2-3 games. He really been out here doing his thing, and he's like our most complete wide receiver.
Yeah,
And I mean, I was saying in a group chat, like, who he remind me. I know some people say Amon-Ra St. Brown,
that's
but
who he
to
remind
me,
me of.
he kind of remind me a little, just a little smaller version of Hines Ward too.
Oh my
He does,
God.
and
Yeah,
Hines is
he's faster than Hines though.
yeah, yeah, and that's why and he can block his ass off too. I
He a
think
baller.
he's like, yeah. So I just wish that you know. One of our other receivers really comes on, man. Like, like Jacoby really got to, like really take that leap with Makai. Cause Makai look like he just been steady. We should have been
Yeah,
feeding him the ball like from day one.
man. I'm trying
From
to tell
day
you.
one.
That's what I was trying to. Coach, come on in. You still believe in the Trojan? Hey, man. Hey, Coach. I never stop believing in the Trojan. You need to come on. Because I heard you say something on your channel. You need to come on. Tap in, Coach. Tap
I might
in.
hop off, but fight
All
on,
right.
man.
All right, fight on. Hey, Coach. I never stop believing in the Trojans. You already know that. Never. Even when we losing. Hey, B, you had anything you want to say on that?
Nah. You need me to drop off, Jay, so you can get some more calls in?
Yeah, I'm gonna take a few more. They
Yeah.
coming in.
All right. I'm gonna drop off.
All right, fam.
All right.
Hey, coach, the link. Hey, coach, the link is in the chat right there above below your comment. Just click that real quick. Christian, what's up, brother?
What's going on, man? Happy Sunday.
Man, happy Sunday to you, man.
Man, I can't complain. Now we can't never stop believing in the boys. I mean, it's the season is what it is, but my perspective on the season, like I've been saying from the get-go, is that offensively we young and we going through growing pains.
Yeah.
Defensively been riddled by injury after injury after injury.
Yeah.
It's a tough year, but I see what's there, and I see what's coming, and so I still believe it. I believe in the building process. Got to trust the process. What's up, Coach?
What's good?
Yeah. I trust the process. And now, Coach, did you say, Jay? Do I not believe?
hey, Jay. Hey, Jay. It's gonna be a rough 7 years until we can afford this buyout, Jay.
Oh my God! Hey, you like Kashim, man. Kashim ain't trying to hear it right now, Coach.
Hey, Jay. I'm just realistic, dog. You know what I mean? It was 20-28 at one point against Rutgers in the second half.
It's wild.
You know what I mean? I'm at the point now where I'm not gonna sit up here and get happy that we beat a Rutgers team and we gave up. We gave up 434 yards.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest with you. After it was late anyway doing the live, but
yeah,
I'm just not settled. Like I'm just not happy. Right. I just want to. It feels like we look. I'm flying out to Washington, man. I'm going to Washington this week, man. If we go out there and dominate,
save your money, Jay. Save your money, Jay. Save that credit. You know what I mean? And go.
I already bought my ticket. Hey, I already bought my ticket. But here's the thing. If I'm scared the way the DBs was playing, bro. Like I don't understand the cushion. That and to me, like the way Miller was over the weekend, he was perfect. But when pressure comes, I just see something different. And why you played at Washington, didn't you?
I did play at Washington.
You know how it gets freaking. It gets so loud, man. I've been there before, and my thing is that noise is gonna be crazy. I just want to know do you think he's gonna operate the same way?
I'm not worried about the noise because they said it was loud in Vegas. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not so much the noise. I just think what I'm starting to see from Miller is how soon people get in his face. You know what I mean? He's good. He's good if he gets hit once or twice. If it's 2 sacks, then he's good with it. But if it becomes 3 or 4 or 5,
he changes.
That's when you start seeing him throwing off of his back foot. But shit, I mean, I didn't mean to cuss. I apologize about that.
No, you good.
I mean, I don't think like you said, it's the defense, Jay. It's the defense. We gave up 434. Everybody keeps saying the defense.
Hey, I'm not gonna argue with you on that. It was
we gave up 129 rushing to a running back who's gonna sell insurance once he's done. Oh, well, he's gonna be a lawyer because he goes to Rutgers. That's a great law school. So we gave up 129 rushes to 2 lawyers. That quarterback is going to be a lawyer. We gave him almost 300 yards passing.
Hey, now I give you that one on the quarterback, but the running back, he's a beast. He's almost leading. He's like 800-something yards. They projecting him to go. At least
they are projecting him to go.
Yeah.
I apologize about that. I take that back. But
I give you that on the quarterback. Minnesota quarterback was the same way. I don't understand it.
Hey, Jay, ain't nothing changed, and people don't want to hear that nothing's changed just because. Now we're 72 in total defense and not 115. People are excited. If you're not on the first page on the NCAA website, you're not good enough. The teams that are going to play in the college football playoff are in the top 10 in defenses. You know what I mean? Like this is still college football. You got to stop people from scoring. We're not doing that.
So you saying 7 years, man? Look, I do believe in this coaching staff. I believe that they're going to be better. And we got to look. We got like 7 guys are out. I mean, we depleted beyond depleted. And I'm not saying everything's been perfect, but I'm saying it was a little bit more penetration. We did have 3 sacks. over the weekend. Finally got some sacks from the D line. But Air Gentry out, Lucas. It's just like, man, one hit after another.
No, I hear you, but if your scheme is solid, it shouldn't matter. You know what I mean? I'm never gonna, like I say, I'm never gonna blame these kids. You know who I'm gonna go for, and I just don't think the scheme is solid. We play like this 7-yard cushion at corner,
I
and
don't
then
understand.
like
I don't
there's so
understand that
many
part.
holes. There's so many holes across the middle in the secondary. Like it's open all the time, and we're just not stout in the run. Like we look like we did last year. A lot of missed tackles. I don't
And
see a lot. I don't see a lot of change. You know what I
I,
mean?
I want to say this, Coach. I've seen a lot of change when we were healthy and fully staffed. But as the injuries has took over, that's definitely, especially this last game being without all our corners. And I think the biggest issue that we have is we don't have depth, and the depth we do have is young and inexperienced, right? So now we're playing a whole lot of guys who don't have experience and they're playing for the first time. And so I don't think the scheme is the problem, and I think they were playing so far off because most of the time they were running zone blitzes where the corners playing cover 3 or 4, where you play with that cushion. Linebackers and the defensive ends are supposed to get under them flat routes, and they weren't getting out there. So it looks like a lot of times it's on the corner, but when you're playing 3 and 4, you know what I'm saying, you're not gonna play bumping man coverage. You're gonna
If you
play off
playing
because
cover
you
three, you playing bump. If you playing cover three, you playing bump because it's eventually gonna turn into man coverage. What are you giving space for in cover three? You got a third of that field. What am I
right. So
playing
you
off in
give a
cover
you
three
give a
for?
little you give cushion on the cover 3 because you have that whole deep
That's
third
if
or
you.
that whole deep 4.
I've never played it like that. We didn't play it like that with Pete, and that means you're scared. You know what I mean? We can't go. We can't go to the college football playoff committee and be like, hey, we didn't have any depth this year. I know we got some losses. Y'all should let us in.
So let me ask you think so I know they watched film and I know they had to see how they was just dumping the ball up, and that was Rutgers, man. I mean, Washington is a level above Rutgers. That part scares me. I'm not gonna lie to you. Coming into this game this weekend, they got to make some type of adjustments. What adjustments? Uh, they're not going to adjust the scheme. They just need to come up closer.
They do like at least show some type of man. It's just I prefer they play a lot of too high, and you're seeing this in the NFL now too. And there's a bunch of articles on it talking about running backs are getting a bunch of yards, and it's counting the numbers, right? So regardless, you're playing too high, you're always going to be short in the box. You can't keep the box numbers right. You got to bring one down to at least be +1. Like they just don't have enough in the box. And then they're playing too high, and then none of these teams are playing their true 10 personnel. You know what I mean? Like we're not getting a true 10 personnel on none of these teams. They're all playing 11, and you got a too high guy. You're wasting guys now. You get what I'm saying? Like if I had a board, I could legit show you everything. You're just wasting guys. That's why there's always guys open across the middle because you're getting lost trying to cover tight end who's either playing that H-back or the tight end that's on the line of scrimmage. Like we're wasting guys with the too high. Who does that second safety have? You get what I'm saying? Like he's legit covering nothing. When you think about it, 11 personnel, that's 2 receivers on one side and 1 receiver on the other side, and you have a tight end. Who's that safety covering? He could be down at 6 yards. Like, like we're wasting a lot of guys. That's why I'm saying schematically, it just doesn't make sense to me.
Well, I mean, I know he supposedly he's supposed to adapt the scheme as needed, but I don't know. Like we kind of been seeing some of the same things as it relates to that as well. So I don't know, man. I don't
So
know.
here's my question, Coach, for you. So we bring our corners up and we run man. Our corners have already proven that they can't, especially these backups outside of
No, not run man, not run man. You show man. You show it like it's man, and you play cover 3. You pivot. We're pretty much you pivot and you stay on top of that on that outside shoulder, so everything is in front of you. They run a post, you can squeeze down. I'm on top of, and they can't get past me. I want to stay as deep. I want to stay as deep, at least a yard deeper than any receiver, so I could close
and
on
that's
it and
the
make it happen. You see the ball being thrown at you. You get what I'm saying? So think of being squared up on the receiver. As soon as the ball is hyped, I want to pivot on that outside foot and sideways run and stay on that top shoulder the whole time. I want to do that the whole time. They run post, I can squeeze on the post. You get what I'm saying? They run any type of curl. You see them beat the drums. I could just set on my feet and I could jump in and get picks. If you playing 5 yards off and then I start belling in cover 3 all the receiver's going to do is just sit down and catch it. If he runs any in-breaking routes, you're already
and it was way too much of that going on.
But I think the biggest fear is that our corners have already proved that if they come up and bump like that, they're going to.
Give me a second. What did you say? You there?
Yeah. I said, I think the biggest fear there is that our corners have already proved that they're gonna get ran by, and they can't cover like that, right? And we have to blitz to bring pressure. So a lot of times they're gonna be left out there in their cover three on an island by themselves. And the problem is when we blitz, we don't. The problem is when we blitz, we still don't get home. So the quarterback has enough time, and the DBs get ran by. So I think that's why he had them playing off, because we're trying to blitz, we're trying to manufacture the pressure because we can't get it with the front four by itself, and the blitz is still not even getting home, and the DBs are getting ran by. So he got them playing off to try to give them a fighting chance and hope that the quarterback make a bad throw or a bad read or the pressure actually get there. But 9 out of 10 times we blitz and the pressure still ain't even getting there.
Hey, hold on for 1 second. Hey, Coach Callie, I'm about to come to you. 1 second. Give me 1 second. But here, I do think that we saw, it's kind of got some feedback, but I do think that we saw the consequences of not having Ramsey in there as well as Jalen Smith, because both of those guys would close the gap pretty quick. Do you agree, Coach?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Ramsey, and I think Ramsey's going to play on Sundays. You did see that difference.
He would come up and make the pop.
Yeah,
it was totally different.
And that's what I've been saying. I'm like, why do we have Ramsey playing in the too high? Just have him play down. He'll make the tackle in the hole. He's a legit strong safety. He's a legit NFL strong safety. Like, why are we sitting up here having him playing too high, just covering absolutely nothing? Like, that's the part I don't get. Like, the scheme is not better. You know what I mean? The effort may be better. You know, the tackling may be better, but the position that these dudes are getting put in is not any better. And it sucks because, like, even with our starters, we were giving up big plays across the middle because there's nobody there. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's just weird. It doesn't make a lot of sense. Like, I could sit down and we could talk about this for 3 hours.
We're gonna hey Coach, the jury's still out on that. We gonna hey, I'm gonna take this other call. Hey, but we gotta bring the chalkboard.
Yeah, hey Jay, we're gonna be on that. We're gonna be on that 6 o'clock our time.
Okay, I got you.
Hey, also, you wild for doing a live after the game on Friday, bro.
Man, hey, bro. hey, man. Hey, it is what it is, man. I was lost. I did it for 30 minutes. I was gone, man. But I'm gonna take this other one. Hey, right. I'm gonna text you.
All right, good deal.
All right, fight on.
Yep.
Coach Callie, how you doing, man?
What's up, my brother? Fight on. What's cracking?
Fight on. What's cracking?
What's cracking?
Talk
man, all the way from Huntsville, Alabama, man. I'm from South Central LA, though.
Okay.
Yeah, I live in Alabama. Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
Okay. How you doing
out there, man? I'm from South Central LA. I'm from South Central LA. My mom still lives. Huh?
Where in LA? What section you from?
What area? I grew up on 69th and 10th Ave. I went to Hyde Park Elementary School, bro.
Oh, okay. That's what's up.
In the 6-0, you know, the 6-0.
Yeah. I'm from over there. I went to 54. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hey man, I went to Bud Long and John Muir as well.
Okay, that's what's up.
But I live in Huntsville, Alabama, man. Yeah, hey. Man. We got some USC fans out here, dog. And matter of fact, Miss Muhammad lives out here. I just saw her in the grocery store the other day. You know, Jamil Muhammad is her son. Yeah. I know his father. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I know his father.
I don't know how long you've been tapped in with me, but I actually interviewed Jamil Muhammad on here a while back.
Oh yeah.
I
started watching you about a year ago, man. I've been watching you about a year ago. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, please tap into my show too, man. I got Coach Callie Sports Talk, you know what I mean? And I'm also a DJ as well.
Hey, do me a favor.
Yeah,
you got Instagram or Twitter?
Yes, sir.
Hey, do me a favor. Put that link. Give me that link, man. So text it to me. I'm USCJ32 on Instagram and Twitter.
Okay, I got you. I'm on Twitter as well. Yeah, man.
So tell
So
me,
my profession. My
go
profession
ahead.
is a mixed martial arts coach. I'm sorry. My profession is I'm a mixed martial arts coach by trade.
Okay, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. So you out there whooping on heads then. Hey, so look.
Yeah.
Tell me your thoughts,
Let's
man.
get into it.
I saw you make the comment about
yes,
Miller
sir.
Moss. So break it down. Break it down.
Yeah, man. Miller Moss, I think, to me, he's a good quarterback. It's not that he makes a few bad mistakes with the interceptions. But other than that, to me, I think the real struggle is defense. I think the offense is doing fine. The defense cannot hold water on the run game. We've seen it time and time. Michigan had 32 yards passing, dog. 32.
Hey, it's unacceptable. Ain't no excuse. No, I'm making no excuses for that.
And they couldn't stop the run. They could not stop the run. And that's the issue. That's one of the issues. The second issue
hey, let me, but while you making points, I gotta interject for a minute. Michigan had 3 explosive runs, right?
4.
Now,
wasn't it 4?
No, it was 3. But
okay.
But here's the thing: against Michigan, against heavy run teams, Penn State, Michigan got all those yards from those 3 explosive runs. Other than that, USC kind of kept them in check. Now, the issue was against Minnesota. I agree with you. That running back has some explosive plays.
Man, he was a beast. He was a beast.
Unacceptable. Penn State, though, they kept him in check. And that was what hurt Anthony Lucas. So I wouldn't say they all the way.
Though?
Go ahead.
No, go ahead, sir.
No, I'm listening. Go ahead. You good. I made my point.
I was going to say they got fooled by that trickery. You know what I mean? They got really tested. They weren't prepared for all that trickery that Penn State was doing to them. With the trickery, with the center hiking the ball. Yeah. I don't think they was prepared for all of that. But we still had a chance to win the game.
Listen, hold on.
It's the defense.
No, I disagree with that. Hey, but here's what I'm gonna tell you, Coach. We should be
6-0.
We should be 6. We should be We had the game won, and we had the last drive. Right?
Yes.
The ball. Who hands was the ball in?
I understand clearly what you're talking about, dog. I know the ball is in his hand. Hey, I even on my show, I say he's good for 1 interception each game.
But that. But Coach, here's the thing. And look, it's so. I always tell everybody it's okay to agree to disagree. It's all good. It's all love. But here's what I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
Look when the interceptions came. Look, okay. When did it come against Minnesota? Tell me.
I didn't see that whole game. I saw the highlights.
Okay. When did it come against Michigan?
Michigan? I know they had 1 interception. That 1 interception turn the game around.
Now, so Coach, you got to kind of. Now I'm agreeing with you on the defensive part.
I want to say, and I'm gonna support your thing with this because I support you on what you're saying. I believe everything you're saying. You're right because he even did it in the Louisville game. He did it in the Louisville game as well. But he's a better accurate quarterback than Mayava though.
Well,
Mayava, if you watch him at UNLV, man, you see what UNLV doing this year versus last year when he was there.
They went to a major bowl game. He threw for over 3,000 yards. But here's what I'm gonna say. I always said this, and I continue to maintain this. I feel like what you said, and I don't know this for sure. I feel like Miller Moss. I'm not sure. I think he knows the offense better, and I don't know necessarily if I want to say IQ because I don't know that. Now, some of the arguments that everybody was making with me, they said that Miller Moss. Well, they said Jaden Mayava was turnover prone. We had 10 interceptions last year.
He is. He was with UNLV. He was. I watched one game. He was like that.
But here's the thing. That no longer exists when you talk about comparison because now Miller Moss is what at 5 or 6 interceptions. You just said yourself that he threw an interception every game, right? Come on, Coach, keep it 100 with me. Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's quite, but you know what? There's quite a few quarterbacks out there. You know what? There's so much parity in football right now. Everybody's eating each other up. Everybody. Every conference is eating each other up right now. One thing I didn't like is that they moved to the Big Ten, because that put to me that moving to the Big Ten and moving out of the Pac-12, I think it's doing good for Oregon, but it's not doing good for the rest of the.
That's cool. I want to get back to this quarterback thing. I want to get back on that. Yeah. Hey, I want to.
That's what I'm trying to get at. Is like the quarterbacks. It's the defenses that they're playing against. The competition. I think the competition has gone up. I think the competition has gone way up.
It is
to me, because even with Rutgers, and that. But I do love that hit on Monangai. Hey, that was a great hit on Monangai. I don't know who number 31 or the 13 is, but that was a great hit. But I just think the competition is more better, man. Everybody hungry.
Well, hey, we all got.
And that's what's causing the interceptions.
Hey, but at the end of the day, listen, this is your craft. Look. If you go out there and have a job, I go out there and have a job. I can't tell my company that, look, man, it's harder work, or you giving me too much of a task, so I ain't gonna be able to. I'm only gonna be able to do half of it. No, he gonna say no. I'm gonna get somebody else. You are gonna have to bounce. And so the bottom line is these dudes have to. But here's the thing. I agree with you as far as. I
like what you said earlier on your show when you said put Mayava in some packages. I like that.
That's all I've been for the most part. Now you got some people that
I support you on that, dog. I support you on that one.
You got some people that want to pull him out completely. I've always kind of said, especially after this weekend, Miller Moss looked extremely good. He looked good. He looked like he was picking everybody apart.
Yeah, he did.
But the only thing I'm saying is, like, I just bought a ticket today. I'm going to Washington game, and it's going to be a hostile environment. My only thing I'm worried about is that under pressure and the noise, will you act different? If that happens, I just think you need some packages to neutralize that, the defense as well as because you got to be able to.
That's why I go back to this about going to the Big Ten, right?
But we
gotta travel. But we got to travel every other week to the East Coast to play a game. That's not easy.
No, and
that is not easy.
Coach Rowe made a great point. I feel you, but the bottom line is we here. You feel me? Like we here. So
that's why you got to. That's why I kind of look like you kind of got to give Lincoln Riley a pass on this one. Next season, it shouldn't be no excuses. Like. Especially with the defense. That's what frustrates me more than the offense, because the offense can put up points. But if your defense don't support your offense, how you going to win? You're still doing the same thing as the last 2 years.
Hey, Coach, I disagree.
Yes, sir.
Because I believe the offense has to support the defense by not turning over the ball. And I feel like every time the defense made some stops in a couple of games this year, I feel like, and I got to take this other call real quick. And you can get the last point.
Good.
No, you can get the last point. I feel like every time the defense made a couple stops, because we already know this defense has some issues at times, like we talked about running the ball, and sometimes it's like, okay, in the beginning they cool, but as the game goes on, so why keep like our offense had the ball for I think 23 minutes opposed to 30-some minutes compared this past weekend. So, and then when those turnovers happen, it's like they got to get right back on it. To me, it's not only is it a momentum shift, but it's like a situation where these guys are wearing down. So, man, so I feel like but I respect what you're saying. I feel like it's the other way around. But I'm gonna take this other call. You can get the last point real quick.
Yeah, man. I just feel like this defense has got to support the offense, man. The offense is putting up points. Yes, Miller Moss struggles and sometimes forces the ball to windows that he shouldn't be forcing the ball. I would say run the ball more, because Woody Marks is that dude. He's that dude.
Yeah, absolutely.
Woody Marks is that dude. And I forgot who the other running back is. Number 0.
Quinn Joyner.
Man, what them two guys, I mean, they're unstoppable.
Yeah.
You got to support them. Support them. They doing their jobs. Even against LSU. I mean, they came back and fought back and beat LSU. I still see that same grit, but on the defense, it's like you're giving up touchdowns that you shouldn't give up. And that's all I got to say, man.
No, I feel
Please
you.
like and subscribe to my channel, man. Please,
hey,
everybody.
make sure you send that. Make sure you send that.
Channel.
Make sure you send that to me again. Make sure you send that to me, USCJ32 on Twitter or Instagram. Tell everybody exactly where they can find you at on your YouTube real quick.
Hey, Coach Cali Sports Talk, man. Coach Cali Sports Talk on YouTube. Yes,
all right,
sir.
big dog. Hey, fight on, man.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Fight on, man. Fight
on. Christian, I'm about to get up out of here, but I want to hear from you real quick before we get out.
Oh, my bad. I had to drop. Man, what I'm going to say about the defense, people got to realize it's the first year, right? And so not only is it a change of scheme, we put weight on the players we had, but yet the players for this system, depth-wise and everything, it's not here yet. And so there's some holes on our defense. But when our defense was whole and healthy and we had our full group of defense, they were playing well. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah, I mean,
I think a lot of people forget that. Right. They don't understand all the people we lost to red shirts and injuries and all that. So, and now we're playing, red shirt freshmen and freshmen. So, we're a young team, which is good that they're getting this experience for next year. So next year is going to be a totally different season. In the portal, I'm pretty sure we're going to hit up with some big defensive linemen. We're going to try to go after offensive linemen and also try to get an elite pass rusher. If you look at Lynn's defense at UCLA, he had 2 elite pass. We got to have some elite pass rushers on the edge. That's what really makes that defense go.
No,
right?
I totally agree.
And totally agree. They're recruiting it. I'm pretty sure they're going to try to fix it even quicker in the portal. But, that's what's up with the defense. And what he's saying is right. Defense needs to complement offense, but offense also needs to complement defense. And special teams need to, and the special teams need to complement both. And all the losses that we have, neither 3 phases complemented each other. You know what I'm saying? The only consistent we've had all year is our punter. He's a stud. But if he punched the ball, and the other team gets the ball at the 10-yard line, defense got to hold up. Can't let them go on no 90-yard drive and score. That can't happen. Defense gets a turnover like at Penn State. Offense has to punch that in for a touchdown. Can't settle for a field goal. Can't miss a field goal. Can't have a turnover. Like, you have to play complementary football. And I know we play Rutgers Friday, but that's what I was looking at. I wasn't looking at Rutgers. I was looking at, okay, for the first time this year, I've seen this team play complementary football, right? The defense came out, made a stop, offense took it down and scored. Defense made some stops at first, the offense when it scored, you know what I'm saying, when it scored. And so special teams, the punter got us out of a bad jam, booted all the way down there. Defense got off the field. So that's what I'm looking for, because even the offensive scheme, I don't have a problem with the offensive scheme, because even in our losses, players were in the right position. It wasn't that coaches put them in the wrong position. They were in the right position and they just didn't make the play. Right? That against Penn State, if Middlemoth throw that ball a little lower, that's a first down. Against Michigan, if Humphreys and the other gentleman wraps that running back up and he don't break that, that's a touchdown. They were in the position, they're not making the plays. Even on Friday, if you look, our DBs, they're in position, but they're the pass interference because they're getting, because they're panicking. They're in position, but they're not making the plays. So, I don't care what scheme you do. You can put them in the right place. It's still up to them. It's still up to them to make the plays.
Well, I argue that, and going back to what Coach Rowe said, Coach Rowe, if you're still listening, he was saying he sees no difference. And to an extent, I don't agree with that all the way, but I kind of agree with, from the standpoint of, there were some guys that was in position. If you remember, you were tapped in with me last year, Christian. I said that, when a lot of people was on Alex Grinch, I felt like guys were in position. The only way we could be leading and miss tackles is if we were in position. If you got to miss tackle, that means that you were able to put your hands on a guy, at least kind of come close to putting your hands on a guy. And as a result, it's given us a situation where we're leading the country. I'm just saying, leading the country in like missed tackles. So look,
this is the difference I see from last year. Is last year running backs wasn't getting touched to 7 yards down the field. That's where they were missing the tackles at last. That's where they wasn't making the play last. You know what I'm saying?
But last year I did see some guys though. I saw some guys that were there, but just didn't. For whatever reason. But I do think the scheme is improved. I really believe it on my heart, especially at the beginning of the year. Not only just the scheme. I think guys like you see Eric Gentry is a different player this year. And I think that's all due to coaching. Like if anybody can't recognize that, look, come on, man, we got to keep it 100. Eric Gentry, he's improved with this game. Anthony Lucas is a different player. I didn't see him getting no pressure like the way he is this year opposed to last year. Now, did he have sacks? No, but I did see Anthony Lucas absolutely improve in his defense. And, along with some other guys. So Jacoby Covington, he improved in his defense. So I just think we got to look at God knows Jalen Smith. Right. I mean, look, man, that guy, he's really raised his draft stock big time. So I just think we got to look at the pros and the cons and, man, and just really like weigh this thing out and see who improved, because I know for a fact there's some guys that were here from last year that improved. And then, of course, we got some additions like Kamari Ramsey that really, really made this thing go to another level as well. So yeah, I got to tap out of here, man. Any last thing you want to say? I've been on an hour and 15 minutes. I can't believe that.
I just close it with this. The reason we didn't see a lot of sacks from Anthony Lucas because he was getting chipped and doubled, right? So if he next year we get another equally talented on the other end where they can't put all the attention on him, you're gonna see his sacks go up even more. But he's been causing mayhem. He with the pressures and all that, his sacks number ain't up there because that's what everyone's saying. This is the guy we got a game plan for. Watch out. But as far as for the rest of the season, what I want to see is I just want us to see us continue to play a full 4 quarters. If we play a full 4 quarters and we play complementary football, we can win every last one of these last games.
I think
even with the injuries. We just have to play complementary football and not get back to the self-destructing, finding ways to lose, but finding ways to win. And a lot of times I've seen this before. Teams be talented, and the year before they lose a lot of close games in all sports, right? And have a tough season, and they come back next year and they balling and they win it all. And they say, well, last year was tough. Those close losses, they taught us how to win and matured us. And with a young team like we got, I believe this is good learning experience. Players are getting in that we're going to be counting on for next year. And they're going to take those close games and mistakes and things like that. And we should be able to learn for the future.
Hey, hey, look, man, I still believe in this team, man. I believe in the coaching staff. So I think we're going to be all right. We'll see what happens this week at this game.
Just hope you.
Huh? You there?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you now.
I just hope Juju got on that plane and came back from Colorado.
Well, I'm supposed to be getting an update on that from somebody that was out there. So I heard it went real well. But anyway, that's a whole nother story. I got to get updated on that. I got to make a call here. But yeah, you just made me sick again. But all right, fam, I'm gonna give you a holler, bro.
All right, man, fight on.
All right, fight on. Hey, look, man. And so look, until later on, man. Hopefully, I will have a Juju Lewis update. I'm trying to get it in a minute. So look, until later on, listen, everybody stay blessed, man. Thank everybody. I thank everybody for coming on, tapping in. Those who were guests, those who are in the chat. The chat is full, multiple people in here. I appreciate everybody for tapping in always, man. Until later on, I'm up out of here. Fight on, fight on, fight on.